Hello guys, we have the box office update here, and we have bad news for Lionsgate, Paramount Pictures, and of course, the Walt Disney Company. So it seems that Now You See Me, Now You Don't, The Rain Man, both flopped. Yep, The Rain Man is actually based off a book, it's not an original non-franchise movie, so we were lied to 100% as well. Yeah, but it seems that it is actually based off an existing IP. Sorry for that confusion. But Now You See Me, Now You Don't seems to be a pretty big flop as well domestically. This movie, they don't have international sales yet, but judging based off its domestic performance, this movie isn't doing very, very well as well. I know these movies do, for some reason, better internationally than domestically as well, but this is not a very good look for Lionsgate, for one of the biggest IPs as well here. But yeah, these movies always, for some reason, do very much better internationally than domestically. So this movie is actually doing on par of Now You See Me 2 domestically as well here. And these movies usually always do very well internationally, however. The last movie in the series, Now You See Me 2, grossed 263 million internationally, meaning these movies which means if this movie performs like Now You See Me 2, it's to do very well internationally. But the problem is, most of that money is made from one country that does not like Hollywood anymore. So, how will it fare without China as well? Maybe it'll grow in Europe and popularity in Europe, as this movie did do pretty well in Europe as well. It also did pretty well in Russia and Mexico and Brazil, as well as even Taiwan. Yeah, but these types of movies do pretty well globally, $75 million. Even China, it did well in China with 19.2 million. For a movie doing that much in China now, it's actually pretty impressive. Doing better than like 90% of movies it is. So it made $75 million globally. So that means there's a huge possibility this movie actually breaks even. I've not seen a single Now You See Me movie, so yeah. Apparently, this movie has a huge possibility it makes money, considering how popular these movies are internationally as well. Kind of like the Bridget Jones movies as well. Okay, those movies always don't do too well in the US, but they make hundreds of millions of dollars outside of the US. Next is The Running Man, which has run to box office failure. Yep. It is a remake of a old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and you'd think this movie would do better because they tried. I think they made this movie because they saw the success of John Wick and said, okay, what other IPs can we throw into John Wick? Okay, I think of the John Wick formula, it has been overused and overdone as well. Okay, John Wick is a lightning in a bottle movie. Okay, it's gonna be very hard to recreate the success of John Wick as well. Okay, John Wick, it's gonna be very, very hard to recreate the success of the John Wick movies. As John Wick was a lightning in a bottle type success. Okay, that's what it was, and I think people need to realize this. Okay, yes, nobody did okay. The first one, the second one didn't really do too well. There was also that Santa movie, which was based off John Wick. But there have been a lot of John Wick-esque movies since John Wick became popular, and only a few of them have done well. Okay, and you can't, and I get John Wick is one of the most successful action series of the 2010s, but you can't just do the same thing forever. Okay. As well. Then we have, Predator Badlands. Disney should be very concerned about the second week numbers. So Predator Badlands cratered in its second weekend. Yep, dropped 68%. Okay, that is a very bad news for the Walt Disney Company and Disney as a whole. Okay, which means for box office success, Disney only has 2 movies left, which are the biggest movies of the year. Zootopia 2, as well, and Avatar, Fire and Ash, which is projected to be the worst performing Avatar movie yet. Which, it's still gonna make $1 billion. So you know, it's not performing that terribly, but $2 billion could be possibly out of the question, as the second movie did significantly worse than the first movie as well, despite all that anticipation being a sequel to the highest grossing movie of all time. And it still is actually the highest grossing movie of all time because they released it in China in 2021 and it made $50 million in China. So it passed Avengers again as well. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it seems that Predator Badlands is not really doing too well. Okay, it is not really doing too well. I thought people loved Prey. It has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I guess no one cares about Prey all too much. I didn't see it. I bet the vast majority of people didn't see it. And Disney is going to lose money on Predator Badlands. Yep. I actually do not really update that box office thing anymore as well. I probably might eventually update it if I want to, but I have not updated it so far. So, yeah. But seeing that this movie is doing very, very poorly as well. I don't think Disney is very happy with the 68% drop. But this 68% drop haunts Disney, as a lot of the major movies dropped this badly. The Fantastic Four, the Marvels, and almost every single major movie Disney has released over the past 2 years that wasn't an animated movie or that Deadpool Wolverine movie have dropped very big as well. Okay, yeah, they have done very, very poorly at the box office as well. But yeah, this movie is it is doing poorly as well. So let's go back to the rest of the movies. Regretting You is doing okay at the box office. I don't know the budget for this movie. I heard it was pretty small, but it's still not doing that amazing. But considering the movies it is coming out, is competing with, it is actually holding pretty well in this week as well. So it's holding pretty well in its fourth weekend. The Black Phone 2 open, and it's doing very similar to the first movie as well. Of course, the numbers won't give us the adjustment for inflation, but currently it is on pace to basically make the same amount of money as the first movie as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it isn't. It isn't. The first Black Phone was at $38 million. It ended up making, this movie's, a lot of these horror sequels typically do the worst in the first movie. I don't know why, but it is on track to do worse in the first movie. Okay. Keeper not doing too well. At the box office, that's the one movie we talked about yesterday. It's a big horror movie flop by Neon as well. No one liked this movie. Moving on. Nuremberg by Sony's Pixars isn't really doing too well as well. Yeah. It seems that no one cares about this movie all too much. I don't care if it goes on to Sundance. 99% of people don't care about Sundance. So, yeah. Then we have YouTube ad payola movie, Sarah's Oil. All those YouTube ads for $8 million, Amazon. All those YouTube ads for $8 million. Yeah. All of those YouTube ads, and he only made $8 million on this movie. Yeah. So if you don't know what Sarah's Oil is, you either don't watch YouTube or you our first person up to YouTube. Basically, over the past couple of weeks, YouTube has been bombarding the general public with ads for this movie. Okay, they have been bombarding people with ads for this movie. Okay, this movie is gonna lose money for Amazon. I think this movie cost like $24 million big, but I think they have at least spent $10 to $20 million on YouTube ads for this movie. Okay, And guess what? They only managed to get like a small amount of people to go see this movie. Okay, as well. Okay, yeah, this is just absolutely embarrassing. Begonia, $40 billion. Not what we're doing. Yeah, it's not doing too well. It's doing pretty well. Actually, doing pretty well for an indie movie, but it's, eh, yeah, it's doing okay. Yeah, and then we have the Chainsaw Man movie. What happened to this movie being a massive success? Actually, it did very well in Japan, but outside of Japan, it didn't really do too well. Okay, they really thought they saw the Demon Slayer movie do well and said, "Okay, we can do this too." And guess what? Wah 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 wah. It didn't even make the scrape of the Demon Slayer movie. It stayed in theaters for longer, but that's all it really has. But I do think Hollywood is now finally trying to take these movies seriously, as they actually gave this an actual theatrical release. Hooray! But yeah, then we have Wicked, which was a re-release into the theaters for Wicked 2. Yes, Wicked 2 is coming out very soon, so they re-released Wicked into a few thousand theaters so people can watch it again. And it will be out next week, so people can watch both of the movies together if they really want to. Yeah, they're really out doing that. It's, you know, hey, it made a decent amount of money to get people hyped for the second movie. So yeah, Wicked, of course, was one of last year's, you know, too many pundits, big surprise success stories. But all of us knew this movie was gonna be a huge hit. It was gonna be one of the biggest movies of the year, and yeah, and I think Wicked 2 will also be amongst one of the biggest movies of the year as well here. Also, Tron Ares is out of the list. Yep. Predator Badlands seems to be performing exactly like Tron Ares, having massive drop-offs at the box office as well. Okay. Yeah, this is very, very embarrassing for Disney. All of this year, okay, has been just it's just, humiliation trial by Disney. Okay, outside of real instances has been it's just mostly nostalgia. This is just how Disney is doing now. Like, these are IPs that used to be one of some of the biggest IPs and most recognizable IPs amongst, people. Okay, and one, yeah, this I don't care how great Prey was. I don't care. 68% drop is not good at all. Um, as well. Okay, they're not gonna make back their budget with this movie. Yeah. Goodbye.